Hello and welcome back to the channel. Have another Uzuri Count Your Blessing gameplay here. Just go full screen, don't I? So this deck I've been playing past couple weeks and iterating on. Have a Verdance now to play against. The sideboard has gotten worse against Verdance for sure. Like there aren't. I think AB2 is probably the optimal choice. We only have AB1. In fact, the sideboard equipment only has the one difference in any matchup that you could bring, which is just the hat. But I mean, there are still plenty of tools. We have like aggressive cards, Spike with Blood Rot, and some looking for a scrap. And mostly, we're just gonna try to cast the Count Your Blessings efficiently and pressure their life total in deck at the same time if we can. Crucible is pretty bad. It for this for the loadout that I have, it tells me, I might be in for some tall arcane spells, which, only being on AB1 that's kind of scary. So, okay, but Energy Potion is more of a setup card. So there's some mixed signals going on here, but we'll move through it. Our hand doesn't do too much. I'm pretty disappointed to not have a stealth card to go with the CNC. Casting it face up is way worse than having a stealth card, but I'm still going to do it. The no D-react part on this is pretty relevant against Verdance, I would say. Most of them are still trying to get their hero power online with Rootbound Carapace, which is a D-react, so we could just as easily see them block with a few other Earth cards, as they do. Alright, Arsenal Just Nick is fine with me. Wow, nice hand here as well for us, as they just set up an Energy Potion. So I'm going to attack with one of the daggers. They are looking to be more of a combo deck as these turn cycles play out. A Plume of Evergrowth, I think, also kind of tips it off. So I think I'm going to swing the Spider's Bite and then present the Blue Infect and see what they do. And probably our win condition in this game is going to be I have enough life total to survive their combo, and then their deck should be either really tiny or not full of enough threats to actually interact with me. So we'll see what happens. They have a Sink Below on the Infect. My guess is we'll see another one here. No, I'm going to shred it. And what color to choose is pretty interesting. I think I'm going to go with blue to start the game here. And the reason is, if they are playing more setup things like these epochs, then maybe I can snipe one. I think another reasonable choice would be yellow if they're holding potentially the it's like something growth, rampant growth. Then I could snipe it. But I feel like they usually play the other staff with rampant growth, the Surgeon Aether Tide. So I think for these reasons, I'm going to go ahead and choose blue and see what that gets me. Here we go. All right, so a Scour and an Aether Spindle. Pretty happy to brick their turn unless they want to use an Energy Potion. Yeah, okay, very nice. So them having a Spindle is interesting. I'm wondering if they do have a combo that's more so, like, for lack of a better term, I wonder if they have a combo that's more wizardy. So Spindle can like set up some cards in their deck. Maybe they're trying to do like Sonic Boom into some stuff. So we'll see. I'm pretty interested. It seems like a pretty heavy arcane deck with maybe splashing the Fellings. This hand is awesome though. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna think about trying to convert the Just to Nick, but for now we're just gonna swing both daggers. I'll start with Scale Peeler and then Tunic into the Spider's Bite. And it's a pretty, or excuse me, I'm not going to Tunic the Spider's Bite, I don't think, because of the spike with Blood Rot. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So if I, okay, here's even another choice available to me. It's really about how much do I want to preserve the Justinic. And I think the way this is going, if I hold Justinic for Bonds of Agony after they've played some D-Reacts, that could work out for me. The downside is I'm Assassin and I kind of want an open arsenal. So I think I'm gonna go back on the theory of holding the Justinic for a little bit and maybe play it out. So here's what I'll do. I'll present the Double Trouble Red. I'm gonna see how they block, and the Scale Peeler attack looks horrible at this point, but it's what it is. I don't mind potentially giving them more block value. We're trying to improve our decision making with the deck anyway. So this is a pretty intricate line because there's so many choices available. So I think, yeah, okay. Normally when someone gives just a 3-block, I expect another D-React. So I could easily make this Double Trouble 8 with Vambrace and the Spike. But what I want to do, I think, is just slam it all on the blue one and get over their D-React by quite a bit. I know they're holding a red Aether Spindle, so my guess is they have like D-React blue for the Spindle. Okay, and we're just going in on it because I think I do value having that arsenal available to me as an assassin, especially as Uzuri. I value that quite highly. All right, so we hit a few decent cards, and all right, so Aether Flare, here's one of the combo cards. I really don't know what they're going to do with all this. Like, what is the point of being Verdance exactly? If you're playing those cards, maybe it's this. Maybe it's Channel Millennium Tree. Okay, into Crucible, into their Spindle. So yeah, that's a pretty tall Spindle. And yeah, maybe I want to activate Tunic for that. Let me think. My turn is really not the best. So I think I'll take it. They're gonna do their setup thing, and that's kind of scary. I don't have any disruption. I'm trying to come up if I have a bluff on this turn potentially with the yellow Double Trouble. I think there are bluffs available to me. Like, for instance, I could go E-Strike Go again into the Double Trouble, and they're trying to opt to the top of their deck. So the on-hit of Double Trouble is reasonably annoying for them if they've stacked a hand of relevant cards, or at least the top card is relevant. So I'm going to see how they opt and then make a choice on what to do with my hand. So 3 on top, 1 bottom. And the rest on top. Okay, so I think I am going to go for this play. The Double Trouble being yellow instead of blue is pretty unfortunate, but it's what it is. So we're going to go E-Strike Go again. And then here's the plan. If they block the Double Trouble, we have easy Shred Vambrace to get the effect online. And if they no blocks, then I think I'm going to Uzuri plus Vambrace and hold my shoes. So this is gonna disrupt 2 of their opted cards, unless they have a D-React. And if they have the D-React, that's, I don't know, it's kind of annoying that I use the Shred, but what can you do? Hit a Fruits and a Sink Below. Alright, so no really relevant combo cards, but we're about to see what they're up to here. E-Pot, Tunic. Yeah, so like if their combo involved Sonic Boom, then that's kind of what the Double Trouble could have interacted with. Okay. Aether Flare into, like, I guess it's gonna be, you know, snapback. Yeah, all right. Interesting. I mean, this is strong. It's definitely a strong little. It's much more wizardy, like using the channel tree. I'm gonna take 0 to this and then play a Count Your Blessing. So this is kind of a late time to be casting the first CYB. It's turn 5, and there's 6 in the deck, so they're relatively frequent to show up. So I'm really hoping to see more of them shortly, and that'll buffer against more of the same shenanigans we just saw. Obviously, they like a lot of this revolves around the tree and the Aether Flare. So they're through 2 Aether Flares, which means I probably have a bit of space here. A Spindle for 4. I mean, I can't block it efficiently, so I'm just gonna say no blocks. And I have another interesting line. They're so heavy on D-reacts, right? Like they have the Carapace Sink Below and Fate Foreseen that I think swapping into Surgical is not the best. So what I think I want to do is pitch the Surgical to a Dagger, E-Strike Go again, and then Double Trouble Vambrace. I could also bottom the Surgical to E-Strike, which I suppose I'll do. Well, I'm now considering if instead of E-Strike, I should lead with uh, potentially Double Trouble. I could make it up to 7 and then use these to give Go again. This is again where the yellow is just really annoying. I kept some iteration of the deck, the yellows weren't in because of this problem, right? It's like you want to, like the 8 power red that the red comes in after you give it a +3 is pretty relevant. So I'm gonna go with the original idea. Go again on the E-Strike. This kind of telegraphs what I'm up to, but I don't think I really have a better line that doesn't get blown out by a D-React. If this was a red Double Trouble, then I think I could maybe go for a line that's like Scale Peeler to deny their armor, Double Trouble, and then get it to 8 and have Go again with the black text. At which point, I could maybe be playing the second stealth card, swap into Surgical. But yeah, I think this not being red just gives me enough pause to go for a different line. If they do have the D-React and I'm sending only 7, it's so easily blocked by their armor or like card plus D-React, and that's just not where I want to be. So let's see what's going on here, if they have the D-React or not. It seems like if they have it, they thought the on-hit there was not relevant enough. Okay, this makes sense. Just another Tall Arcane spell. AB1, play the CYB. I wonder if they have a Sigil here as the last card, or if they're just sandbagging a D-React. Sandbagging the D-React wouldn't make too much sense to me. So using the CYBs efficiently, like I mentioned, just AB1 and then the healing. Just once all the CYBs, or at least half of them or so, have been cast, the healing starts to outdo what your AB3 could have done. So I think this is kind of interesting. If they're holding a D-React, I think Dagger Tunic CNC is a reasonable bit better than swapping into it. Because it takes away their defensive option if they were just holding the D-React. Maybe they're holding a regrowth, but I'm not sure that makes the most sense either, because this plume can just get them one back whenever they want. I think either way, I would rather make this play. Um, just because if they've like either it was a regrowth or a D-React last turn. I think those are the only ones that make sense. Oh, I mean, it could also just be a 3 block and they didn't know how much to commit to Double Trouble because it's such a weird card to play against. But I think that more likely scenarios, it's either a D-React or a regrowth left. And in either of those cases, if they've either arsenaled the D-React or drawn another one, the Dagger Tunic CNC is the most threatening way I can attack the arsenal in this case. The bonds into CNC does get eaten up by a D-React plus a 3 block or even a 2 block, depending. Oh, they're going for it. Pulsing Aether. Guess I should turn this on. Am I dead? Rampant growth. I'm dead. Ah, all right. That's that. Well, I think I think that was a good game. I'm keen for a rematch actually, if they're into it, because I want to see what happens if I draw the healing cards a little bit sooner. I think they're so committed to a combo that look, I only died by -5. Like if if I do see even just one more count your blessings, I live. They're not into it. Okay, yeah, no problem. They gotta go. Pretty interesting though. I think had we seen some more healing, the game doesn't look close in the other direction, which means it's pretty finely balanced. I mean, I can say that with not much confidence after just one rep, but that's the feeling I get. They need to see combo pieces. I have disruption for that. And they're doing something uninteractive, but I have the counter for it with Count Your Blessings. That's why this card is so well designed, right? This is for a slow deck like Assassin, you can choose to play something that interacts with stuff that previously you had no like actual choice about. I mean, same with the new Spell Void stuff. You can choose to interact with a Kano Wildfire thing. All right. Thanks for joining. I'll see you in the next one.